Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jamie, and once a week we come together to pull a affirmation card that we discuss in depth and hopefully maybe have some breakthroughs, some realizations, and some aha moments so that you can take your power back. So let's see what our affirmation needs to be for the week. I can release the past and forgive everyone. I free myself and everyone in my life from old past hurts. They are free and I am free to move into new glorious experiences. So, we've all done it, right? Especially those of us who have like heavy Scorpio placements. Like Scorpios can hold a grudge like nobody's business. But the thing about hanging on to the past is that, like, I imagine it always being like a bag of bricks. Like, you are literally dragging that along with you wherever you go. And it influences how we show up in our life. It influences, and we end up inadvertently maybe projecting onto others based on those past experiences. Now, when we learn and look at the idea and concept of forgiveness, people automatically assume that when we forgive other people that we are not requiring them to take accountability for their actions or absolving them of any responsibility of maybe the hurt that they've caused us. But that's not what's really happening. As cliche as it sounds, you're forgiving someone for you. You're forgiving someone in hopes to release yourself of that burden of carrying it with you. Because is that really what you want to carry with you your entire life? None of us really want to carry that mess with us, because it gets heavy after a while. It really does. So when we look at forgiveness, not only do we need to consider forgiving other people, but a big thing is that we need to consider forgiving ourselves. And what I mean by that is that you probably are not the same person who made that choice back then. We grow, ideally. We grow and we evolve and we hopefully gain new awarenesses. We gain a broader sense and a greater sense of consciousness within ourselves that would actually allow us the ability to make a different choice. And so we really need to learn to forgive ourselves from the past. We forgive ourselves for getting jealous. We forgive ourselves from getting angry. We forgive ourselves from maybe not trusting our own intuition. Okay, there are a lot of different ways that you could look at your situation, however it applies to you. But it's important to recognize those two things, that when it comes to forgiveness, we're not absolving anyone of accountability. And you have to remember that you can't force someone to take accountability for their actions. They have free will, and as much as we would like to feel seen and heard and witnessed in our pain and our discomfort, and then for them to actually acknowledge that they've hurt us, we can't make them do that. And holding on to that hope or holding on to that experience tightly, waiting for them to do so, at this point in time, the only person carrying that burden is you. So how long are you going to let yourself carry that? Okay, so remember that. And then also remember that you also need to forgive yourself. A lot of us make decisions because we went against our original intuitive guidance. We went against that internal guidance system that we all have. We go against that. And so a lot of shame and guilt can actually subconsciously be carried along with that. So when you're holding on to that experience, waiting for that closure, you're also holding on to this thread of this lack of self-trust that you've once established. I hope that made sense. But so we are going to release the past and forgive everyone, including ourselves. Yeah, they are free and I am free. And I know that a lot of people are like, well, I don't want them to be free. I want them to hurt. I want them to whatever. Don't. That's not necessary. That's not necessary. You don't need to expect things from them. Because whether they receive consequences in this life or the next, they are here on their own journey to learn their own lessons so that they can grow and evolve. And whether or not they choose to do that, it's entirely up to them. You know what I mean? When we're like, I want this person to know how much they have hurt me. I need closure. You're giving away control to something that you really can't control. But what you can control is how you heal and move past this situation. Okay? So let's see what the oracle says. Sisters of the season, cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. You cannot take away someone's free will, and they will go through their own cycle of life and growth just like you have or you are. Okay? So you really need to make this choice, this decision with the acknowledgement of how it's going to play out moving forward. If you choose to actively hold on to this past, this pain, this hurt, you can do that. It's entirely your choice. But you have to acknowledge that you will carry that with you, and you will continue to carry that with you, and it will continue to impact how you show up in the world, how you show up with yourself, how you show up in other connections and relationships. Or you can choose to let it go. Doesn't mean you have to completely forget about it. Look back at the experience. What did it teach you? What did you learn from that experience? How did it impact you from that point on till now? How did it impact you? Those are things that you can take with you. But the pain and the hurt and the anger and the frustration and the betrayal, whatever came with that experience, doesn't need to be brought with you. The education, the learning, the growth, the higher awareness that came with that should be brought with you. But everything else needs to be left where it is. So it's your choice. How are you going to move through it? Are you going to move on to this new cycle of growth? Or are you going to move forward just kind of lingering in the past and allowing things to just tag along like a little gremlin? Just tags along. Nobody wants that. And I really don't think you want it either. But I do think that people really want that. They want their experience to be witnessed by another person. So if that's the case, I see you. I hear you. And you are loved. You can let it go now. I hope you all have an incredible week. Don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button and leave a comment below as to how this video resonated with you. And welcome.